your guide to the truth. TheNewAmericanMedia.com.
Broadcasting to you live from the Milky Way galaxy, the solar system, planet Earth, North America, the United States of America, California, Los Angeles, to be specific. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Agree to Disagree here on the TNAM radio network. My name is Brian Engelman, and I am going to be your host, like I have been for so many years. Thank you for joining us, whether this is your first show or you've listened religiously for the past several years. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I want to say a special thank you to our guests for our other show. We do another show. It's a sports show. It's called The Unhappy Hour. I want to thank Rob Troutman and John Tiburis for joining us and talking about Indians, Cavs, and Browns and a whole bunch of weird stuff in sports. Weird stuff that crosses over into politics, actually. You got Donald Sterling, Mark Cuban, Washington Redskins. You have the NFL. There's a lawsuit going on. Former players are suing the league for illegally obtaining and distributing prescription drugs without warning the players what the ramifications and impact of that was. And, of course, this story on Bloomberg about Obama expanding field for sports as political refuge. I don't like this headline, but it just says, essentially facing angry veterans, an uphill climb for his party in this year's elections, and possible sanctions war with Russia. President Barack Obama is turning to a time-tested safe harbor for U.S. presidents, which is sports. Yeah, it's Memorial Day. That's great. Welcome in the Seattle Seahawks. That's fantastic, but we're not going to stop paying attention to the fact that there are secret waiting lists and veterans are dying, which is pretty much the most disgusting thing ever. Nancy Pelosi came out and blamed it on George Bush. Sorry, kiddo, that was 6 years ago. You don't get that anymore. You did that for how many years? Ain't happening. Nice try. But real quick, if you haven't checked out our homepage, it's thenewamericanmedia.com. On Facebook, do a search for The New American Media with spaces in between and like the page, because we would like it when you do that. On Twitter, we're at American_media_, and please subscribe to youtube.com/The New American Media. So, without further ado, we're going to try to figure out what the big stories were this week and what you might have missed. So we're going to bring into the program Blake, the Eccentric Walley, and we're going to talk about it.
Hello.
Blake, you are live on the air, sir. How are you doing today?
Awesome, Brian. How are you?
I'm living the dream, of course. Welcome to Agree to Disagree. And, Memorial Day is coming up here on Monday. And, it's just interesting that there's so many VA scandals right now with secret waiting lists. And thankfully, Nancy Pelosi came out and blamed George W. Bush. I think that was today. That was fantastic. 6 years into an administration. I'm going to blame Garfield. It's because of that Garfield administration. Give me a break. 6 years in. But real quick, Blake, take a second, if you would, introduce yourself and tell people what you do on your radio shows and how people can stay connected with you before we get into the interesting news of the week.
Sure. My name is Blake Walley, or Blake the Eccentric, and I run a radio show and a website. The radio show is on freedomizerradio.com. It's called The Eccentric Perspective, which also happens to be the name of my website, eccentricperspective.com. But it's probably easiest to follow me on Twitter, where I'm usually active nearly every day at Eccentric99. You can also get the podcast by going to iTunes and looking for Eccentric Perspective. All right.
Excellent.
That'll do her. Right.
Yeah, so, I kind of led in with the VA stuff going on here, and you're really good at finding the most important stories throughout the week, things that if people only listen once a week on Agree to Disagree and they're not really sure what's going on in the world, we try to distill it and get down to brass tacks and just kind of go through the important stuff going on. So I know you had a few key stories that you queued up over on your side, so if you want to jump into any one of those, I've been following and listening to your show and doing my own research this week, and I have definitely form some opinions on some of these major stories this week as well. So wherever you want to begin, good sir.
Well, since it is, oddly enough, the timing with this latest air quotes scandal is probably couldn't come at a worse time.
Phony scandal.
Memorial Day.
Phony scandal.
Phony scandal. Yeah, obviously there's some pretty bad stuff going on. But I don't know if I want to say to be fair, because I do like the idea of just piling on Obama, just another phony scandal here, and certainly under some fire for that. Yeah, I mean, it could be, bipartisan here. I was certainly no fan of the Bush administration at all. That was the worst administration until Obama took over and took that race to the bottom and took first place. But there was an interesting, there was a good bit last night by Jon Stewart last night. I thought he really nailed it, kind of a, beyond the partisanship. It's the calling them hypocrites and showing even Bill O'Reilly calling out Karl Rove on the issue. Pretty good bit. I pulled one off of Mediaite. I haven't tweeted out just yet, but interesting. So people should check out the bit from the Daily Show. John, of course, is active with veterans. Has taken was it the USO show? I forget what they call those. Going overseas and supporting the troops. So it's an issue that's dear to him. And although he is definitely lefty, and he definitely protects Obama a lot more than I'd like, because I'm a big fan of Jon Stewart. I think he does rightfully criticize that it's definitely both sides that never want to seem to solve this problem. So there is light on the issue, and now people get to see how bad it is, and get to see all these veterans that are on these waiting lists. But of course, I think is really unraveling now under Obama's watch. It's kind of like, I don't know, maybe musical chairs, and Obama has to be in the wrong spot at the wrong time.
Well, let me. I just pulled this up here, and you probably heard it because I did just pull it up. So I got two little segments here about terrible memory and World of Warrior Shaft. Are these the segments you're referencing?
They are, but I think they're rather long bits, so I don't know if you want to play them in full or not. You certainly could, but I mean, I think it's probably better to watch, especially some of the visuals. If you're looking at the Mediaite, the part 2, and then of course they show the O'Reilly Rove. It almost looks like a 3-parter, and I don't know how long each segment is, or where the best part is. Obviously, there's some good parts of it that I would love to pick out of it if I knew where to select. But it's totally up to you, Brian. This might be.
Well, you know what? I can give it 30 seconds. See where
it goes.
Yeah, I have the first part and the second part. You're thinking maybe go to the second part?
Looks like the second part. Yeah, it's hard to say where that starts, because he's kind of going like back in time, I guess, back to the 80s. He's going back to Reagan. He goes back to the 20s. He even goes back to the Revolutionary War, citing different examples, different administrations altogether, where vets get kind of screwed over under various administrations, not just Obama. Yes, it is disturbing when Obama gets up and he's like, acting like he's gonna, change things there, and he looked bad on that. They have thrown money at the issue, haven't solved any of the issues. I forgot, there's another point I was gonna make, but yeah, I don't know. So
let me just press play on the second one. Let's see where it goes here. This would be Jon Stewart.
It looks like he's in the 1920s in that.
Mistreating our veterans is a fully bipartisan endeavor, as we will soon find out as we take a jaunt down terrible memory lane.
All right, terrible memory lane.
What's up, man? What's up? The 1980s. Girls just wanted to have fun. And Reagan just wanted to have Gorbachev tear down that wall. While meanwhile, the VA was telling their researchers to underreport the number of VA hospitals with an inordinately high mortality rate. And America fell in love with a family called The Simpsons. Not far enough back? All right. What's up, man? In the 1960s, the Beatles experimented with the White Album, while in Vietnam, the military was experimenting with a different color. Agent Orange. Don't worry, troops. This groovy herbicide won't cause you any harm, unless you consider cancer and nervous system damage harm. Oh, I just had a vision that 20 years from now, the Reagan administration is going to deny federal liability in Agent Orange contamination and suppress evidence of harm to Vietnam veterans, a situation that won't be rectified for another 20 years after that. Man. Not far enough? All right, how about this?
Now he's black and white.
The year was 1930-02. And while most of America was being served delicious soup, 10,000 World War I veterans marched on Washington to get the war bonuses they'd been promised 15 years ago. Said the U.S. government, would you accept that bonus in the form of tear gas and an escort of tanks?
Congressmen left through back doors and underground tunnels to avoid confrontations.
I know who's made this country worth living in. It's just you fellas. Look.
General Smedley Butler, a name that comes up quite often.
Makes me so damn mad a whole lot of people speak of you as tramps. By God, they didn't speak of you as tramps in 1917 and 18. No.
I'm with you, retired General Butler. It makes me so steamed. Why, I've got a swear jar right here that... Hold on there. Hold on, don't do it yet. Here we go. Big boulder, folderol.
All right, anyway, he's going on and on here, basically saying that, well, okay, Obama didn't do this, but everyone else did it too, so it's okay.
In a way, yes. I mean, this stuff has been going on for quite a while. Obviously, the VA hasn't been the best managed unit, and a lot of stuff's been covered up, and none of the administrations treat the troops very well, although they always act like it. Oh, they care so much about the troops. Meanwhile, there's little ugly secrets lurking in the background. So, I can't throw it all on Obama, of course, but certainly, he's certainly got some explaining to do. And the other thing is, it doesn't really, reflect well with this ObamaCare thing. If he wants to, because there were people that were saying that this was going to, that the VA was supposed to be this great model of how Obamacare would work. And speaking of which, so I can dovetail that into an excellent article from Truth Revolt from Ben Shapiro, where the left's VA worship comes back to bite. And with this great little line here, it's all fun and games until we discover the secret waiting lists. So, yeah, as the fallout from the VA cooking of the books and the related deaths of over 36 veterans continues, President Obama took to the podium to explain the problems with the VA are nothing new. And on Wednesday, President Obama took to the podium to first express his tremendous anger, and so did Eric Shinseki. But anyway, it goes back, and they take the...
He's mad as hell, Blake.
Yes, he's mad as hell.
And madder than hell.
Right. Yes, and then you have people like Paul Krugman talking about how stuff at the VA, it's a socialized medicine, but it works, and it suggests what it will take to solve the troubles of U.S. health care more broadly. You've got Nicholas Kristof of the Times in 2009. Take the hospital system run by the Department of Veterans Affairs, the largest integrated health system in the United States. It is fully government-run, much more socialized medicine than is Canadian health care with its private doctors and hospitals. And the system for veterans is, by all accounts, one of the best performing and most cost-effective elements in the American medical establishment. a little high praise, and then it came back to bite you in the butt. And there's a few other examples as well. So it doesn't look too good. And right in front of Memorial Day, it's going to be on everybody's mind.
It's just another phony scandal, Blake.
Right. Of course. Yeah, I'm sure it's probably mostly made up. It's probably mostly racism. I'm sure is as always probably the culprit, the elephant in the room that nobody wants to talk about. It's the secret racism going on,
or an advance a vast right wing conspiracy, as Hillary Clinton famously claimed back in the day when her husband was president. But talking about racism, did you have any thoughts on the stuff going on? I mean, you had Harry Reid now trying to deflect and take pressure off Barack Obama with the IRS scandal. With we say scandals. I mean, these are impeachable offenses. The IRS targeting political opponents, leaving our ambassador and former Navy SEALs to die in Benghazi. No effort was made to go send them assistance. The VA scandal right now, where there's secret waiting lists while people are dying in Phoenix and across the country, a couple days out from Memorial Day. Did
NSA spying on the people.
The NSA scandal. NSA is such a blatant violation of the Fourth Amendment. He should be impeached immediately. And I've said it before, and I've said it again. The Fourth Amendment is crystal clear. I mean, we have a right in our Constitution, our Bill of Rights, to not do exactly what Barack Obama's doing. He's doing it. He needs to go. But you brought up racism. Anytime somebody criticizes the president, of course it's racist, or so they say. But I mean,
or any of his policies, because there was an article interesting came out yesterday, I believe, which made a nice little soundbite as well, also out of Mediaite, although I'm sure it can be found other places as well, where you had Senator Rockefeller and Ron Johnson battling over whether ObamaCare opposition is racist. Yeah, we actually had one of our Congress people actually suggest, even yesterday, that it could be something to do. If you don't like Obamacare, it might have something to do with you being a racist. Actually, it's two U.S. senators. I apologize. Senators. Two U.S. senators, a Republican and a Democrat, got into it Thursday, that would be yesterday, over whether opposition to Obamacare has to do with the color of the president's skin. Of course, Democrat J. Rockefeller strongly suggested it was, and Republican Ron Johnson fired back by scolding Rockefeller for his very offensive comments. Rockefeller said plenty of people have already made up their mind, and they don't want Obamacare to work because they don't like the president. Maybe he's the wrong color.
Let me play this one. I queued this up. I hope I have the right one here. I heard this on the radio the other. I think it was yesterday. Absolutely blew my mind. Just let this go for a second, because you have got to start calling this crap out for what it is.
I think it's very important to take a long view at what's
Jay Rockefeller talking about, I think it's important to take a long view
going on here. And I'll be able to dig up some emails that make part of the Affordable Care Act that doesn't look good, especially from people who've made up their mind that they don't want it to work because they don't like the president. Maybe he's of the wrong color, something of that sort. I've seen a lot of that, and I know a lot of that to be true. It's not something you're meant to talk about in public, but it's something I'm talking about in public because that is very true.
Okay, it's not very true, Mr. Rockefeller, and so that's why we're talking about it in public.
Well, he gave like 5 examples. Oh, wait, no, he didn't. All right, sorry.
He continues.
People associate a piece of legislation. Their leader in the Senate has committed at the beginning of the president's term
Talking about Mitch
to block
McConnell.
every piece of legislation that the president puts forward. And they have done that with this exception and a few other exceptions.
Not because they don't like communist socialist policies.
I find that
must be for another reason.
Disingenuous behavior. Senator Johnson, do you want to close her out here?
Oh, I have.
Do you want to close her out here? I love how just so nonchalantly. You want to close her out here? Yeah, I think I got something to say, says Senator Ron Johnson.
Senator Johnson, do you want to close her out here?
Oh, I absolutely do, Mr. Chairman. It was regrettable, and I would say it's offensive. Seems I'm the only one in the room here really talking about opposition, that you would play the race card, that you would say opposition to Obamacare necessarily must stream from some inherent racism. Very offensive. But listen, my opposition to health care has nothing to do with the race of President Obama. My opposition to this health care law, by the way, which was passed on a 100% totally partisan basis. You talk about major piece of legislation. The way it used to work in this country is something this major would normally be done in a bipartisan fashion where you'd actually accommodate the other person's views. That is not what happened with this law.
Senator, there was no accommodation. There was no accommodation.
It was passed on a purely partisan basis.
I can only conclude that what you in your heart deeply want for the American people is to go back to the healthcare system that we had and to have a totally free enterprise. Let the insurance.
No, you are assuming the wrong thing, Mr. Chairman.
Well, I'm saying
you've implied that I'm a racist.
I have
now you're
not
saying
implied that
you want me to go back to a failed healthcare
is one of
system.
those
You're just incorrect.
That's very, very silly on your part. You're evidently satisfied with a lot of people not having health insurance. So long as
I am not. Quit making those assumptions. Quit saying I'm satisfied with that. I am not. There is another way of doing this. I'm happy to discuss it with you. I would have been happy to engage in the debate and pass a good health care law. As a matter of fact, I'm the one pushing a bill. If you like your health care plan, you can keep it at. I don't have any Democrat sponsors on that. I'm also working with Republican colleagues on preserving freedom and choice in health care. To preserve freedom and choice in health care. What a concept, huh? So no, please, don't assume, don't make implications of what I'm thinking and what I would really support. You have no idea.
I actually do, and God help you.
No, Senator, God help you.
Hold on. God help
what I would
you.
really support. You have no idea.
I actually do, and God help you.
No, Senator, God help you for implying I'm a racist because I oppose this health care.
That you're a racist.
Let's play back the tape.
Well, we can do that, but we're not going to.
These
You've lost
guys.
your temper. I understand that. And
I was called a racist. I think most
You
people
were not
would.
called
I
a
think most
racist.
people would lose their temper, Mr.
you
Chairman.
were not called a racist. However, you have done everything you can to block progress. The law is the law. Every Republican voted against it except one or two. I think, did Olympia Snow vote for it? She wanted to, but I think she was told that if she did, she'd lose her position on the Commerce Committee. So she didn't. It's a very partisan thing, and I regret that, but that's what the Republicans decide to do, to block everything the president puts forward. And that's not very helpful to America.
Oh, these guys, Blake. This is actually not the epic beatdown that I was hoping to find that I heard on the radio, but I mean, just...
Well, that was a pretty good dialogue. It went a lot further than I thought. I only get the limited clip here on Mediaite, so I didn't know it went on that long. And yeah, Jay Rockefeller. Well, I think we should just put Jay Rockefeller as make him the new dictator, since he is that smart and he knows how everybody's thinking. Why not just put him in charge of everything? Because I don't know. I mean, it's totally insane. I don't know what else to say. I don't know how this. Well, I mean, obviously he's a Rockefeller, so I guess we have that explanation of why he's there to begin with. But I guess that's the mentality of some of the folks on the left, unfortunately. Not that I play the right and left game, but that's just outrageous to sit there and, act like, that you imply, to even bring up the race card. It had absolutely no place there. Or to say that anybody, it basically just implies that anybody who's against Obama or against. I mean, any of his policies. That must be a racist. I mean, it's totally uncalled for. It's totally getting ridiculous, and it needs to stop. And yeah, that was a pretty comical exchange there, and that actually happened yesterday. It's just amazing.
Yeah, I mean,
there.
I guess it would be comical if it wasn't so offensive. Once again,
Yeah, but like I said, if it was actually a good bill and it was actually really helping a lot of people, and people weren't losing their insurance, and it actually cost as much as a cell phone bill, like they said. It had all the benefits, and then there were people that just were opposed to it no matter what. They just voted against it even though it was actually beneficial. Then you could start making claims that maybe they're racist. But, I mean, when it's just like... But, I mean, obviously the bill's a failure. The rollout was a disaster. It's not... People are losing their health insurance. They're paying way more. It's not good on a number of levels. And so, of course, he's against it for many obvious reasons. It was totally a partisan bill to begin with. And, yeah, and then they actually have the audacity to imply that maybe people don't like the bill, because the president's the wrong color? I mean, wow. I don't know. Speechless.
Yeah, and what's actually bothering me is that I can't hear what I heard on the Hugh Hewitt program yesterday.
End of the month. A lot of people moving. Time for another.
I'm trying to find the. I'm trying to find the clip, and of course, you know how rarely the internet likes to work with you when you're trying to find something quickly. No, but I mean, he went on to explain. He said, "You don't know anything about me," and I just have to summarize this because I can't find it quickly enough. I was hoping to get that in that 4-minute exchange. But Ron Johnson was explaining how his daughter was born with I believe it was a heart defect, and he just had regular insurance, not some fancy Cadillac, this, that, and the other. But he had the options to consult multiple different, well, I guess that's redundant, but multiple healthcare providers to get different opinions to figure out what to do. And they had a surgery, and 30 years later, his daughter is still alive from this air quote flawed healthcare system that didn't help anybody. And who's that clown in Florida that said the Republicans' healthcare plan is here's our
Grayson.
plan? Yeah, Alan Grayson. We hope that they die quicker. But Ron Johnson said, like in the healthcare plan that I used to have, I was able to save my daughter's life, and guess what? She's I think she's a nurse right now. She's in a residency. She's in the healthcare field helping other people right now. And he went on for this explanation explaining, no. You shut your mouth for a second here, Mr. Rockefeller. This is why I oppose Obamacare. It's destroying all the innovation that led to all of the new techniques that saved my daughter's life as she's out there saving other lives now in the healthcare industry. And now you pass this horrible monstrosity. Yeah, that's monstrosity or monstrous. Healthcare plan that's destroying innovation. It's forcing people off their healthcare plans. It's just a disaster. And for you to imply that it's racist is absolutely ludicrous. You should be ashamed of yourself. And it's just that seems to be the number one thing that these Democrats go to whenever things aren't going right. You're a racist.
How dare he criticize or second guess one of our oligarchs here, the Rockefeller family?
Our dear leaders, Blake. Our dear leaders.
So I really think the world works best when we give the vast majority of all of the wealth and power to royalty and old money families like the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers and big politicians and business CEOs and white-collar criminals on Wall Street. I think that's where we really want our money and power centered, and I think that really works well for the little people and the rest of us. So I really think Rockefeller's got our best interests in mind with Obamacare. So like I said, I think we should just give him more power.
Would that be trickle-down healthcare?
Yeah, yes, exactly, Brian. Very good.
I'm gonna have to use that one. No, and I apologize if you guys get a chance, do some more research. find that, tweet us, throw it up on Facebook, comment on that on YouTube and on our homepage, thenewamericanmedia.com. When you find that actual interplay with Ron Johnson where he tells that story, and just an epic beatdown, an epic verbal beatdown of this Rockefeller clown. Just epic. I wish I could have done it more justice. But you were saying you didn't even hear half those parts that I just played there. You didn't know it got that far.
No, I only picked the clip out of Mediaite, and I think I would have, it probably should have gotten a little bit more attention, but perhaps maybe I missed the longer clips that were elsewhere, and that would be my bad. But good job picking up that longer clip.
Hey, well, and I'm not even where I need to be, because Hugh Hewitt, if you don't follow him, you should. Hughhewett, I believe. Hugh Hewitt. He's an excellent radio host. Nationally syndicated. I hear him in Los Angeles, I don't know, maybe around 3 o'clock Pacific time. Big Cleveland sports fan as well, so I appreciate him on that. He's a bit of a neocon, but he's very bright. He's very sharp, and he's pretty spot on about 70% of the time, which is really all you can ask for.
From the corporate mainstream media, yeah?
Yeah, 7 out of 10 ain't bad. In the age of deception, it ain't so bad. But no, I mean, we talked about it last week. The FCC is trying to get in and screw up the internet and basically installing toll roads on the information superhighway. And like I said before, if you like your affordable high-speed internet, you can keep it. So, you got to follow this because the FCC is really screwing with the internet right now. I know tomorrow March Against Monsanto is happening, and if you like your genetically modified foods, I'll tell them they can keep those. I would prefer to never have that crap ever. I don't want to be a lab rat. I'll let someone else figure that out. I don't want that. All you got to do is label it, and I'll avoid it. But the March Against Monsanto's tomorrow. So I mean, those are a couple of the big stories that I've been following. Carryovers from last week with the FCC, of course, March Against Monsanto, and this huge VA story, and yet another case of some dim-witted Democrat throwing the race card out there because they have no good ideas left. So
no, he is a philanthropist, eugenicist, aristocrat from an old money family that in the Rockefeller Foundation. I mean, there's a bigger agenda behind somebody like him.
What agenda would that be, Blake? Break it down. Give us your Blake down.
It's basically to their vision of how the world should work, and yes, their new. I don't even know where to begin or end with that.
Well, how should their how will that new world work?
It would be like a picture of neo-feudalism. Picture, big government health care, the government telling you everything you can and cannot do. Corporate control over everything, a big oligarchy, little ruling class, all the serfs underneath it, and probably have all the media controlled, and it would probably look like something out of the Hunger Games, something like of that sort. I outlined some of that details and more in a little piece I did called "What Would a Progressive Utopia Look Like?" Yeah, we could put J. Rockefeller on that list of potential oligarchs and how that would actually, what that would actually look like, how it would affect your life. But yes, it'd be just completely managed by people that think they know best for you. So that's your cup of tea. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I'm all right. I could do without that. I think these rich, swarmy bastards, these power-hungry control freaks, they can go...
Rich for generations that have never actually had to, earn their way anywhere, had everything handed to them.
Well, what did they say? What was her name? What was her name that ran against George Bush in the Texas governor's race? Nothing? Okay.
No.
Said that George Bush was born on third base and he woke up thinking he hit a triple?
Sounds kind of familiar, but it's been a bit. It's been a while.
Yeah.
The only thing
Ann
Richards, Texas Governor Wendy Davis, and that was course, years ago.
Okay, that would be Ann Richards.
Doesn't even ring a bell.
Oh, yeah.
Been a while. Been too long.
Yeah. No, she was going up against George Bush, and he was born on third base and thought he hit a triple. He was born with a silver foot in his mouth. Yeah, she was pretty good quotes actually, but yeah, I mean it's the ruling class that just thinks that they know better than you, they are better than you, and it's evident in that in the way that you heard Rockefeller talking down to Ron Johnson. You know, oh, you lost your temper. Like these guys just, I swear, I don't
you feel better when you're I think that's what the kind of people we need. We need somebody who's the great-grandson of an oil tycoon, John D. Rockefeller, who's basically had, just born into just sick amounts of wealth and gets to, run, even though he's never really experienced what being the little people or being in the working class, but he gets to decide what's best for you in your future. He's the lawmaker. I don't know how these people keep getting up there. It's pretty bizarre. Luckily, it looks like he's not going to seek re-election in 2014. So hopefully, in several months, he'll be gone.
Yeah, we can wish. Well, anyway, other than those things, you got anything else bouncing on your radar there, Blake?
You know what? Maybe just a couple of quick things, couple little goodies that you should check out. I know you'll be interested because you did mention the Fourth Amendment a bit ago. And
it's my favorite amendment.
Right. Well, I was perusing the activist post, and I found two things that you are. Well, I'm hope they should both be very good clips. One is Dan Johnson on Abby Martin on Breaking the Set, talking about how you can stop NDAA indefinite detention in your city. That is number one. Number two.
Ooh, hold on number one. Hold on.
Yep.
Did you tweet that out? I'm on your timeline.
I have not tweeted that out because I have not tweeted anything out today.
Oh, okay. But you can be found at Eccentric99, and you will tweet that later, right?
On most days, I do tweet every day. I try to tweet out the highlights of the day. Today was a working day for me. It's been already a long day, so I haven't had as much time to peruse the news as I usually do. But hopefully I'll be getting some more free time coming up in a couple weeks where this is going to be a much more dedicated thing. But in the meantime, today is one of the off days. This weekend, in fact, is going to be. It's a very, very busy Vegas weekend here, Memorial Day weekend. So I am going to be occupied a lot, but hopefully back to somewhat normal on Monday, and I can get back to my normal routine and cycle. Because usually I would already have these tweeted out and ready to rock. But today I'm going to be behind this weekend. But so people should go check out the activist post. Anyway, they've always got good, unique material there. So please check them out.
Well, I can tell you that I just was able to find the clip now that you alerted me to it, and I tweeted you and tagged you. I heard it ding in the background.
All right, I'll retweet it.
Oh, so Dan was over, and we got to meet Dan Johnson and Abby Martin. Dan Johnson of Panda, People Against NDAA, and Abby Martin from Russia Today and Breaking the Set. We met both of them at the United We Stand Festival about 2 weeks ago. And I know she films out of Washington, D.C., and Dan is from Ohio, so I guess Dan went to D.C. to get into the studio. That's pretty great.
No, that's awesome. No, it's good because they've always got good stuff. And it's great to see NDAA covered on, I don't want to call it the mainstream media, but it's not
dinosaur media.
Yeah, the RT is actually doing pretty well in its own right, and so it really it's great that Abby Martin's pushing that stuff out. It's great to see Dan Johnson, who's kind of a rising star, get and discuss this. I know I haven't watched the clip, but I'm sure it's excellent. So, and he also looks like he's going to be promoting the Take Back tour coming up, where they're going to be promoting NDAA and taking your city back across the country. I know they've got definitive dates in Atlanta and Albany, and perhaps Kalamazoo, perhaps more things in order coming up. A lot of speakers and musicians, and it should be a lot of good stuff. Dan's only 20 years old, and he's putting a lot of this stuff together. Pretty amazing stuff. And I don't know what else to say except people need to go check that out.
Yeah, I just sent it out. I tweeted it out at American_media_. Tagged you, Blake, at Eccentric99.
Well, I'm going to retweet it right now.
Yeah.
You like that.
You do that. Do that.
Do it.
Do it. Do it.
What is that from? That's Ben Stiller. What movie is that? Starsky and Hutch? I think it's Starsky and Hutch.
I think we had this conversation before. It is Ben Stiller, and it must be Starsky and Hutch. Do it.
Okay.
Do it. No, but we definitely pass that around, and it's just, some weeks we're a little bit more optimistic that we got this stuff handled and that the good guys are going to prevail. Some weeks it's just cripplingly discouraging.
Yeah, great word. Yes, there was an excellent article put out by InfoWars this week also. It's called The Plan to Kill the Internet Uncovered, and they have 10 ways web freedom is being butchered worldwide. So that was pretty viral and interesting. And I don't know what to say. I could just run. I'm not going to go over all of the stuff. You should go check it out, and you can find it on my timeline, or you can find it out by plugging in those search that title I just talked about on InfoWars. Yeah, the death of net neutrality, intelligence agencies manipulating the internet with deliberate disinformation, governments paying trolls to sway public opinion, mainstream news websites killing comment sections, the Obama administration's cognitive infiltration of the internet, false flag cybersecurity attacks as a pretext to increase web regulation, fairness doctrine for the internet, Homeland Security's internet kill switch, new taxes and regulations set to stifle communication and sales on the web, and number 10, SOPA, CISPA, the FBI's internet back door. So, but, which also brings me to the last article, or the last thing to cover, I guess, and something I also have not watched, but something I found on the Activist Post as well, something I'm really excited about to watch as well, and maybe Brian, you should play this on the way out, because I know you played it. You're a big fan of playing that rap news at the end of your show. Which one was that? One was the Big Brother one, right?
Yeah, Big Brother's watching.
All right, well, this one, they have a brand new one out. It's brand spanking new, hot off the wire, on the Activist Post. And guess what it is? Net neutrality.
Really?
Oh, really. I kid you not.
Okay, net.
Oh my god. All right.
Net neutrality, rap. What, do we just listen to this live? We're going to give it a shot, and we'll let you go?
Should we carry that out? Yeah, I don't see why not. That would be, I think that would be the best place to end it.
Hell yeah. Today. I like these guys. And,
Abby Martin was,
To seize this moment, we have to ensure...
Yeah, Abby Martin, I when we interviewed her, I just got to give her some kudos for jumping on Rap News. I think the one I play is Rap News 15. This is Rap News 25. These guys are great. I haven't seen this one yet, but yeah, let's just play it live. They've given us permission to do so. And good times. The Juice Media, Rap News 25, Net Neutrality, shall we? That rhymes.
To seize this moment, we have to ensure free and full exchange of information. That starts with an open internet.
Rap News is back through with fresh juice to inject. After reporting on wars, sports, and militant threats in distant states, the time has shifted hence to focus on our own native homeland, the internet. Join us as we flip the switch to the highest gear and set our course towards one area of our hypersphere, the World Wide Web. Meet its inventor, Tim Berners-Lee. How are we? Couldn't be better. As it should be. The web is a wonderful forum for human interaction open to all. Sharing, blogging and vlogging, lolling and trolling in all forms. Open source, Wikipedia's free media, and of course, porn. How does it all work so flawlessly well? Well, gather round, boys and girls, and hear the story I tell. From the days of its hypertext genesis and my next machine, the architecture of the net as we know it today was built on a fundamental principle, net neutrality, which states that all data must be treated equally. And that means? It means your ISP has to let all content get through the pipe connections at identical speed and momentum, whether it's eBay or Netflix, your homemade video or porn. None can step in, block, filter or slow it down. We take this for granted. We do, and yet it is what made the internet so cool and epic. So all voices are treated the same under the system, whether they're big business or some random nerd in a bedroom? Very good question. Come with me and let's meet figures from both ends of that spectrum. Terrence Moonseed. Rabbit, I'm honestly in awe of this invention. The advent of the net is one of the most awesome events to have ever taken place in all of history, and it awoke me to the true conspiracies that are hidden from us. Chemtrails, UFOs, and reptilians. Through YouTube, I found gurus like Bashar, I condones, accrued my views of who truly runs the globe, demonic mind controls, and seeing that we're not alone in the universe. And clearly, I've served humanity by spamming the net with my academic theories. Zuckerberg. The fucking world should thank net neutrality for giving me the capacity to start a company and immediately savagely school, humiliate, clown, beat down, righteously pwn the biggest players around town. Cause without a doubt, without the cloud of this protocol threaded tight, Google couldn't beat that pile of excrement. Excite, YouTube couldn't get ahead of Google videos, and I couldn't create Facebook and be the billionaire with most likes. And without Facebook, I couldn't have exposed the all-seeing eye and spread the truth that his company is an Illuminati DARPA-controlled spy. I'm working from the inside to crash it down, and I'm crying all the way to my online bank account. Yo, people know what? It might seem like a plot, but believe it or not, even though he's an evil sucker of Beelzebub's cock, and he's a twat. On the topic of neutrality being locked in this net that we got, we both agree that it's got to be defended at all costs. I'm pleasantly shocked. The internet unites even disparate parties to its cause. Well, that brings our World Wide Web tour to a close. Good day to you all. Join us again for more episodes. Wait a minute, boys and girls. Allow me to introduce myself to the world. I'm from Vericast, telecom giant, freshly just merged, here to sell you the new interwebs to emerge. And you are? The Berg, Willem de Berg, businessman and a businessman. Any problem I fix, I got 99 solutions to any given sitch. Bitches, my like the elevator pitch consists of smacking the fuck out of Jay-Z in a lift. Don't be afraid, I illuminate you real quick. This complex babble of neutrality, I'll liberate you from this. Your China's like the stream flicks, share your pics, play games, watch lots of clips, and porn, yeah. And now, brew, we have a new product to make our service even more high-tech. You do? Yeah, it's fresh. The internet that you're used to is past tense. I bring you the future via partnet. Via partnet? That is correct. Based on an old set African tactic that was a success. It means a policy of separate internets with a super fast zip highway that's strictly for rich bitch clients who pay extra for it, and a slow-mo super shit narrow lane for, well, everyone else. Check the effects. This is the apocalypse.
Take my money, just make it stop, please.
This breaks the sacred principle of net neutrality. You break my balls and the sacred principle of stacking money. Surely this policy will never receive approval from the FCC. Let us check with its new chairman and see. How's it, brah? How can I help you? Wait, but you are committed to the internet. Yeah, sure, I spent the past 20 years lobbying for Vericast, but I'm pro-net neutrality. Cross my heart, but sadly our hands are tied on this subject. Why's that? The court handed down a judgment. Well, then we should speak to the judges. It's your service. Hang on a bit. In the case of Vericast versus FCC and the murder of net neutrality, we find the latter in breach of the free market economy. Objection. Order. You can't regulate broadband feeds. A partnet is legit. Case closed. What does that even mean? And who are you, really? Okay, honestly, we've been watching you net users constantly and noticed that thanks to open net policies, you've raised your net consciousness promptly. But this anomaly has been horribly costly, weakening our monopoly on reality. So apologies, but we have to abolish the key quality which makes the net so empowering. Neutrality. You'll face the wrath of the online community. Let's meet the average net user, shall we? Save net neutrality. Sounds gay. LOL, hashtag swag. Selfie. Need I say more? Hashtag apathy. We close this chapter on a note that's ominous, but this battle is only just getting started with confidence, and it involves you and the entire populace. For like an ecosystem, the net affects and connects all of us. Or, well, not quite. The children of our future time and 2/3 of us today are still offline. Can we ensure that the billions yet to connect will inherit the benefits of a neutral, open internet? History will be defined by the fate of the net. If you are here today, you can play a role in shaping it. For a start, head to this part of the web, give this page a click, and tell the FCC that you're not going to take this shit. This report was brought to you via the internet, the most open, free network to appear in history yet. The price of such liberty, openness and privilege, dear netizens, is our eternal vigilance.
Very good.
Interesting. Yeah.
Have you had a chance to check it out, or is that your first one?
No, that's the first time I've heard it.
Yeah, and it's always more helpful when you can see the visuals, because they talk so fast sometimes. It's you lose a little bit. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make that our featured video at thenewamericanmedia.com. Most of what the Juice Media does with rap news is fantastic. And, yeah, I'm going to make that one up there, because, seriously, the everything else that's going on right now, Donald Sterling, Mark Cuban, Benghazi, IRS, the VA, all important. Well, okay, Cuban and Sterling, I don't know, not so important.
Right.
But seriously, if we don't pay attention to what the FCC is trying to do, essentially they're trying to steal back the power and control to manipulate the message and dominate all information, and it's bullshit.
Well said. Yeah, I think that's definitely what they'd like to do. Then we wouldn't even know about things like Benghazi or any of these other phony scandals, because they could control the message. So, yeah, I guess it's a big deal to them, and it's up to us to expose that. This is our platform to discuss such things. That's why the internet is so important. So now we can act as our own media, and yeah, so that's what we do, and that's. And Juice Media, they have their own different way of doing that and giving that message out as well, which is a lot of fun, a lot of good stuff, and it gets a lot of people, talking and entertained. So good stuff, once again, by the Juice Media crew. Always good to see.
Yeah, and I just put it on the Facebook channel. I said, FCC and Internet changes, watch this now. So it's on our Facebook. Do a search for The New American Media with spaces in between and like the page, and it's right there. It's the #1 thing we just posted 2 seconds ago. No, but
yeah.
What's up?
Nothing.
That
was my whoa. That was my my little Joey Lawrence.
Whoa.
First name. Whoa. All right.
Whoa. Okay. I used to do a good one. Whoa. I don't know.
All right.
All right. We've devolved. This is what the internet. Yeah, we gotta save the internet so we can do more Joey Lawrence impersonations, Blake.
Absolutely, that's what it was meant for.
All right. Well, hey, man. I completely agree that this is important. I think it's the most important thing going right now, because if we lose the internet, we lose it all. Like, this is it. Like, this is the only reason why we're so awake to all of their lies and all the corruption and all the murder and all the corruption and all of the rigged systems and all of the just everything, the true purpose of humanity, how we got here, what happens when we're done, everything about the awakening consciousness of the human, of the soul, of the population, of this entire planet. It's all because of the internet. You don't want to live in a world where this stuff is not accessible at the click of a finger, which is why the Fourth Amendment is so important, so people stay out of what you're checking into, so that you're not deemed a political enemy and targeted like the Barack Obama IRS department phony scandal has proven. If you become identified through social media, through your clicks and what you watch on your DVR and what websites you go to and what your purchases, it's to prevent terrorism. Shut up. No. It's to take out the people that could become a threat. And who's a threat? To the oligarchs, to the J. Rockefellers, to the Bushes, to the Clintons, to the ruling leaders who want to control and dominate every aspect of your life. Well, if you want to be sovereign and independent, if you just want to live your life and be left alone, if you want to actually adhere to the Bill of Rights and the Constitution and just keep a limited government, and you're now the enemy. So that's why the Fourth Amendment is supposed to be there to protect you from the bad guys who might want to come in and, shut you up. Make you sleep with the fishes, see? All that jazz. So that's why this is also important to me. But thank you, Blake, for alerting me to this. And like I said, I will make this the featured video. So other than this one, we got any other odds and ends, or we're just about good to go here?
I think we're good for this week, Brian, but
fantastic.
Look forward to the next time.
All right, perfect. One more time, tell people where they can stay in tune with you, in touch, and stay on top of all the information that you're disseminating throughout the week.
Twitter, Eccentric99. We can also follow me on freedomizerradio.com Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 12 to 1:30 Pacific Time, or just get the podcast by going to iTunes and looking for the Eccentric Perspective. Also check out the homepage, eccentricperspective.com.
Fantastic. Well, hey, man.
Thank you, Brian.
You have a wonderful weekend. If you get any Occupy Monsanto coverage, you let us know. And otherwise, you have a great Memorial Day. Are you broadcasting on the holiday?
Yeah, I'm assuming so. Monday, I hadn't really even thought of it. So I'd say there's a decent chance, pretty good chance, unless it's just a horrendous news day. But we'll see. I'm sure I'll make a cameo if anything. So yeah, I'll definitely have something good. Or yeah, I forgot it's the holiday. But yeah, should be available and have some interesting material to discuss.
All right. Well, sounds good then. We'll try to check you out on Monday. And you have a great holiday weekend. Have a great weekend, and we'll connect with you soon. All right, man?
You too, Brian. Thank you.
Take care, Blake. There he goes, Blake the Eccentric Wall, everybody. Make sure that you're checking out what he's doing. He's getting a lot of the most important stories over to you. Makes it pretty easy, just about as easy as possible. It's not always simple, but it's easy to follow him and check out the stories and then sift through those stories because, let's just face it, I mean, it's hard to find the time to find all the important stories, but Blake does a really good job, so check him out. So for everybody here at the TNAM Radio Network, here at thenewamericanmedia.com, I encourage you to please check out thenewamericanmedia.com, where we're going to put that Rap News 25 as our featured video at the top right of the page. Please make sure that you are liking our page on Facebook. Do a search for The New American Media with spaces in between and like the page. Put out that Dan Johnson and Abby Martin interview about the NDAA and put out the Rap News 25 video on that channel as well. Follow us on Twitter. We're at American_media_. Make sure you're doing that. And please subscribe. We're going to hit 300,000 video views probably this weekend. 300,000 video views. I don't know how many subscribers. Quite a few, and I appreciate each and every one of you. YouTube.com/TheNewAmericanMedia. So, until next week, or until breaking news makes it imperative for me to jump in and do a rogue show, a guerrilla-style impromptu appearance, I'll see you next week. I appreciate each and every one of you. Brian Engelman, signing out.
Your guide to the truth. TheNewAmericanMedia.com.